Going to try out a new class at Colleen's gym. This one is kettlebells with Patrick, and so I don't know if we're supposed to bring our own kettlebells or not, but that class was awesome. Patrick does a fantastic job of keeping everybody engaged, and man, I feel my heart rate get up there. I feel it in my arms, my back, my legs, all the right kinds of soreness. So I'll be back to the heavy metal class. I like that. When we first started working from home, I thought it was going to be temporary, and that just needed to set something up fairly quickly. So I tried to mimic the standing desk that I have at the office, but the problem was I didn't have some of the same materials, and so I commandeered this spot here in the living room. And as you can see, I created the two shelves that I like, one for my keyboard and one for my screens, but the only thing I had to separate them was these banker's boxes, which has worked okay. But now it looks like we're going to be working from home a little bit longer. I need something a little bit more permanent. Now, one of the issues with the way I have my standing desk set up here in the living room is that this is Grand Central Station. So in the mornings I've got it to myself, but 6 people living in this house, and you know, when around 11 o'clock, if I've got a call coming on, people are coming down, starting to make lunch. So sometimes I go out on the deck and sit in the chair for like reading or writing. Same with this nice big comfy chair. I can sit and get a lot of typing or a lot of reading done sitting there. But there's no privacy in all of this. So trying to find a spot in the house where I can close the door and be on a conference call or not be interrupted by somebody else. So one other option would be to use the dining room, which has been converted to a mega office complex. It's where I have my personal computer that I do the editing on. It's where I've got my race board set up, and then I've got 2 office mates that share this table back here. So that's not going to work from a privacy standpoint. I can't really jump on a call without kicking them out, and that's not fair to them. You know, a lot of people have been doing their offices in the 4th bedroom, which could work, except for my son has already commandeered this space since he's working from home too. So he's actually got the office space. So oddly enough, the place that I think I'm going to pick is actually here in my bedroom, which is this little corner. The beauty part is I can shut the doors, and this is kind of right next to the bed, but I think there's enough space to put a desk there, do the standing desk there. The desk is 20 inches across, and the 2 shelves that I'm using are old table leaves, and they're each 12 inches a piece. Now I want the top one to be set back as far as it can be, and then I want the other one to be as far forward as possible. So I think that's going to give me about 4 inches of overlap. But I want the brackets holding the shelves up to mimic the bookcase up there in the bedroom. So I'm going to design a bracket that has a diagonal across it similar to the bookshelves up there. The tricky part is this forward shelf would only be attached at that one spot. So I think what I'm going to do is do a side bracket that comes across that way. And I believe I've got some plywood, some leftover plywood that's wide enough for me to just cut that whole piece out. That'll be the design. We'll see how that looks, and if we can then get all the shelves attached appropriately. Crazy thing about my jigsaw is it just stopped working on me. Still plugged in, but if I hold it up, that works fine. I didn't think it was very safe to have somebody come hold the board for me, and then I just cut it. But I don't understand why it won't work in this actual position anymore. So Time for a new jigsaw. Having a little trouble with my jigsaw, so that's put a big interruption on the project. I could also use a slightly bigger drill bit that is sharp to get the jigsaw blade in to where I need it to cut. And of course I need some cheap, dark paint. The jigsaw I want to get is here. I was going to do curbside, but I was afraid it was going to take too long for them to get the order ready. It told me what aisle and bin it was in. Pretty successful trip. I managed to get this paint for just $2. It's not exactly sure what color it is, but it's dark, and we'll see how it works. All right, back to work. I knew there was a saw blade in there somewhere. That new jigsaw cuts so much better. It's like butter. It's fantastic. Yep, that's gonna be just right. So that'll go to the top of that, just slightly lower than what it currently is. This will go up just slightly higher than what it currently is. Certainly not the prettiest, classiest thing I've ever built, but pretty good for scrap lumber and pretty fast production. Certainly better than banker's boxes, so it's all what you're comparing it to. These shelves that I was using are leaves from a table that we no longer have. It's got an old moving sticker on it. It's got these little nubs. I bought that cheap paint at Home Depot, but then after I was getting out some of the painting supplies, I did find this primer and paint that was the color of our door, which is a dark red. So I'll put that on as the primer first and see how that looks compared to the cherry wood of the desk. Okay, so I got the primer on my side parts and I've clamped everything up to be able to attach the boards to this. I like the way it's laying out. I'm going to have this bottom board out a little bit so that my keyboard will be on that, and then the top board will be back with the monitors. So now I've just got everything clamped up. I'm going to put some glue on this, put some screws in the sides, and then we'll paint it and see which color paint we like better. The color turned out a little better than what I thought. We'll see how it dries, and I think I'm definitely going to want to get a couple of coats on this. So I don't think the finished desk is going to be set up by the end of this vlog, but by Thursdays I should have it all set up in my new space. I'll have to go by a couple of days without putting a computer on this, but hey, I've been getting by in temporary space as it is. But it's kind of nice to have a project go pretty close to plan. So I wasn't the only one working away this week, and our friends the Wasps were back and building a project of their own. But I came along and I shut that project down because they did not have the proper permit. Although you gotta admire their work ethic at least, and their persistence.